When you become a TYT member, not only do you get exclusive content, you become a part of our family. Click the link in the description box below to join the home of progressives.
Matthew Whitaker claims that any effort by the Democrats to uncover Donald Trump's tax returns would be a witch hunt. That is exactly how he referred to it. In fact, he said that he would fight the Democrats' effort to subpoena Donald Trump's tax returns. Well, that's an interesting thing for Whitaker to say, especially considering his past as a US attorney for Iowa's Southern District. Now, while he was a US attorney for Iowa's Southern District, he was also the president of a foundation known as the Foundation for Accountability and Civic Trust. Don't be fooled by its name. It's really a right-wing, smear group that's funded by right-wingers, and the only thing that they've ever done is go after Democrats in an effort to smear them or find Republicans who weren't loyal enough to either George Bush or to Donald Trump. And I'll give you the details to that in just a second. But let's go to graphic 37. Just know that Whitaker was accused of prosecuting a gay Democratic official for political purposes. Sounds like a witch hunt. In 2007, this case came at a time when Bush political appointees at the Justice Department were revealed to have been pushing for loyalty from federal prosecutors. So this Democratic politician was undergoing a witch hunt by people like Whitaker, and he was accused of extortion. His case was dropped immediately.
Let me just clarify this because this is really important. It went to a jury because this guy prosecuted him all the way. Everybody's like, "It seems like you have no evidence. Why are you doing this? This is bizarre." Normally, prosecutors like to win their cases, right? The guy's name is Matt McCoy. McCoy was acquitted in 2 hours. The jury was like, yeah, not even close. We don't have to deliberate for long. Totally not guilty. And so if you're wondering why he brought it for politics. Look, under the Bush administration and at the direction of Karl Rove, even before the Bush administration, they did a lot of these political witch hunts, the Republicans did. Most famously going after Don Siegelman, who was a popular Democratic governor in the South. And they were really worried about him going to the national level because another popular Democratic governor from the South, Bill Clinton, had went on to become president. So they went after Siegelman in one of the most outrageous political prosecutions in American history. So it's always projection with the Republicans. If they say witch hunt, it means they do witch hunts, right? And so this guy, Matt Whitaker, who's now put in charge of a legitimate official investigation of Mueller and can make decisions over it, is a guy who used to do witch hunts.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about what he did while serving as the president of the Foundation for Accountability and Civic Trust, also known as FACT. So the foundation, I want to give you the details on how this foundation is funded. It's bankrolled by a large conservative fund that does not disclose individual donors. They listed Whitaker as its only full-time employee during 2015 and 2016. Keep in mind that his salary was the largest expense of this foundation. He was making about $402,000. Now, FACT's contractors included America Rising, a group that was caught scouring federal employees' emails for criticism of President Trump. How disgusting is that? So they're doing Oppo research on people working in government to see whether or not any of these individuals have said anything negative about Donald Trump in emails.
So I just want to be really clear about that. So remember, the only employee is Whitaker.
Yep.
It's not like you can say, well, FACT's a large organization, maybe it was someone else, it wasn't Whitaker. No, it was Whitaker. By the way, his salary was over $400,000.
Yeah.
So apparently that's what it takes to do, hatchet jobs against federal employees. So then they look at federal employees to see who are being sufficiently loyal to Trump. Now, why do you think Trump picked Whitaker? Because he's the guy who was in charge of enforcing loyalty within the federal government. He was paid, but this is before he joined the government. He was paid by rich Republicans to look at government employees and crack down on them if they weren't sufficiently loyal to Trump. That's the kind of guy Donald Trump picks for interim attorney general to make sure that he gets loyalty. With Whitaker, he literally got paid to do that exact job, enforce loyalty for Trump. And so that's why this is part of the reason why it's a great story from TYT Investigates.
Exactly. So again, just to reiterate, the same guy who claims that it would be a political witch hunt to go after Donald Trump's tax returns that have been released by every president since Richard Nixon. That same guy who says it would be a witch hunt conducted witch hunts as a career. So let's give you more. Fact also hired Creative Response Concepts, the public relations firm that helped push a conspiracy theory to rebut a sexual assault allegation regarding Trump's Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh.
Get a load of that. Fact hires people that don't believe in facts, that do conspiracy theories, and yet another witch hunt. That's the third in a row now.
And remember when Trump came into office, there were some people within the EPA who were concerned about what Trump would do. I mean, you were talking about the Environmental Protection Agency. They had legitimate reason to be concerned about Trump. And America Rising, which was again one of the contractors hired by FACT, used the Freedom of Information Act to request emails of EPA employees deemed critical of the president, and then EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt. So if anyone was critical of these people, Whitaker and his cronies were on the hunt to find them and what they had said.
They're just unabashed, just does not care, gonna do whatever ruthless thing possible to show loyalty. This is very, very disgusting, and it should be very upsetting, but people love Trump.
Yeah, the rest of the press should really dive into this. I mean, this guy has a history of going after other federal employees for not being sufficiently loyal to the president. I mean, is it any wonder that this is the guy that Trump picked? And Trump today, with an outrageous, preposterous lie that he doesn't know who Whitaker is. Like, he's like, I never met Whitaker. He's on record on October 11th on Fox News saying, I know Matt Whitaker. So, and this is exactly why he picked Matt Whitaker, because he's the one that does witch hunts to enforce, by the way, political correctness. So the term political correctness means I don't care what is factually correct. If you're a government employee, you will do things that are politically correct. In this case, backing Donald Trump might not be legal, it might not be factual, but it is politically correct. And Matt Whitaker was the enforcer for political correctness outside the Trump administration and now inside the Trump administration.
The TYT Plus app is now available on iOS and Android. Download to get more TYT content at tyt.com/app.